Mental flexibility is the process of shifting your concentration from one thing to another and then back again at will. Now, that's a process that slows as we age, but it is a process that we can practice, keeping our minds and our brains agile. The first exercise in this program, ball toss, does just that. Now, this wellness practice goes from simple to complex, integrating one level completely before moving on to another. You want to place a chair for each participant in a circle. They can stand or sit as needed, but if the chair is there, it's there for safety so that if they need to sit, they can simply do so. Then you hand a soft plastic ball 12 to 14 inches to a participant. Participants are to toss the ball around the circle continuously, keeping the ball in play. The objective is to keep the ball in play. Remind participants to remain silent. If participants are successful, remind them to engage physically, bending their knees when they catch the ball, straightening their knees when they toss the ball. Reaching for the ball and bending at the waist should be avoided. If tossing and catching continuously while silent is not successful, do not advance to the next level. The safety is important when working with any group, but always start with the chairs in a circle and a chair behind each participant. Even when they become well practiced at this mental flexibility exercise, there may be the temptation to not have a chair there when we work on other activities and exercises like the moving meditation. They don't want to have a chair around, but always insist that something is there just in case. Be sure to tap the subscribe button, and you can tap the notifications bell if you want to be notified for future lessons. Now, this is a silent exercise. There's no talking, so you're communicating with your eyes and with your body, not with your words. Now hit the pause button and give it a try. And remember, keep the ball going continuously, and it is silent. Okay, now we've practiced for like 5-10 minutes. So what tactics did you discover that made it easier to keep the ball in play? So things like making eye contact with the person you're going to toss the ball to, staying engaged, following the ball, because you never know when the ball is going to be tossed to you, right? So that makes it easier. Okay, let's start again and remember what the tactics were and see if they help you this time. Now, since everybody's tossing and catching the ball pretty well, and remind you to stay in a neutral position with your weight on both feet and your arms down by your side, and then to bend at the knees when you catch the ball, and straighten at the knees when you toss the ball. Not bend at the waist. That's going to make your back really tired, and it's not the best thing for your knees. You have a tendency to lock your knees when you do that. So you want to take the ball into you and then toss it to someone else. Okay, now I want to practice a few more times just to be sure that everybody's got that integrated completely. We're all successful tossing and catching. And now we're going to add a steady beat. Now I have a steady beat on my phone. It's a metronome app. Somebody else may have another option for that. But it's important to have an external steady beat while we're playing this next round. Now I start the steady beat, and I want you to toss when you hear the beat and catch in the silence. So toss on the beat, catch off the beat. Now, you can hit the pause button now and work through the exercise on your own, or you can let this continue to play and I will talk through the exercise with a metronome. Toss, 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 catch, 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 catch. And you're going to remember to bend your knees when you catch the ball and straighten your knees when you toss the ball. So it's going to be straight, bend, straight, bend, straight, 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 bend, 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 bend. You're maintaining a neutral stance If possible, you can step out, obviously, to toss and catch, but always return back to that neutral position. Toss, toss, toss. Maintaining silence, maintaining the physical bending and straightening, and hopefully you're still successful tossing and catching the ball, which is the objective of this game. Pause and take a deep breath. If everybody is successful and ready to move on, then we're going to add our verse, which is Galatians 6:2, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Okay, why don't we say that as a group a couple of times to be sure everybody has it. Then we'll start the ball toss exercise again, and we will, as a group, say the verse one word at a time. Every time you toss the ball, you say a word.
One
another's burdens and
so
fulfill the
law of
Christ.
And you'll repeat the verse over and over again while you're tossing and catching the ball. If you forget the verse or if the ball drops, stop the game and start again. Okay, well, that's all 4 levels of the ball toss game. But now remember, if you're, as a group, not completely confident and comfortable with a level, then you go back to the one that you were most comfortable with and you practice that and you introduce the next one later. And now I want you to take a little bit of time and get the journal and answer the questions about the ball toss exercise. What were the guidelines? What were the tactics that were successful? Which level do you feel most confident in? And which one do you want to keep working on? Okay, I hope that was clear and straightforward. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions.